Greetings, traveler.
Alrighty, everyone. We've got another very cool game lined up. We have a Slyders double header game where he picked Sneed. I don't think we see what the options were, but we did see that beasts were in. So Beast, Quillbore, Mech, Naga, and Pirate. So no undead. Sneed has been kind of a BS type minion. He's gonna hold the Surf right for doubleheader. Right. Yeah, Surf on doubleheader is really good because you get to get the double there. YouTube voice. This is more my casting voice. All right. So Sneed, we have seen some really cool stuff with that. Like Jeef has done some illegal stuff and other people too. I think initially it was Dogdog that brought this to the World Championships, the qualifier. And he showed us that, oh, if you just hold underdogs, it's really nice. Because you get to summon underdogs from your hand and they get Divine Shield from the Sneed buddy. And that alone was already like good enough for him to, I think, either win the lobby or get second. But I was in a very, very high level game. So Sneed has been seeing some more play because people have been trying to pick him in the right lobbies and abuse that ability. If we're doubling up, Volumizer's not awful, but you don't get any health. That's not great. 3-on-3 is not really something we can do. Okay, he's just gonna roll, then get double refriffer and bank the rerolls. That's fair. Yeah, I think if you are playing in doubleheader, it is like quite important that you actually get something you want. And this makes him quite strong next turn too, because now he'll be able to put 4 spellcrafts on the shop, buy that minion, and it'll be a huge minion. You get 2 huge minions, and they both spawn 2 crabs. Because now you'll see that he put both crabs in the shop. This refriffer pair will spawn 2 crabs each. So it's why he took that Surf and Surf on turn 1. It's very, very good in doubleheader. It just cheeses a lot of tempo. Get a lot of tempo for free. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do as well. Get some spellcrafts in a doubleheader lobby. Okay. It feels like we double sell our Surf and Surfs to buy a huge Lava Lurker. But he could also roll. Oh, he's gonna go for the roll. Big dealer? Okay, Lava Lurker not good enough there. Well, he could have also hit double Thinker or something like that. It looks like he's seriously considering the dealer here. It's a bit annoying because you're selling stuff off your board before you have the dealer, but you know. So he will give up on his Surf and Surf tech, but he still has the stats and, you know, every time he sells something. Oh yeah, this is also good to hold now because his Sneed buddy will give it Divine Shield. That's fair. Okay, cool. Did this guy even go to tier 3? Doesn't feel like it. If you stay on tier 2 this turn, it's really rough. Because doubleheader is an anomaly where you definitely want to level a bit faster than normal because you're getting so much money because you get 2 minions instead of 1. So you absolutely want to be on tier 3 on turn 4. And if you're playing Grapnel of the Titans, then you might even want to be tier 4 on turn 4. That's the one where you buy the minion for free. You go even faster. Now it gets weird because you do want to level, but in order to buy something, you have to triple sell. So it feels like he might just like roll and try to double buy something good and level next turn, but it's also bad because he kind of wants to buy that spell. He could buy the spell ×2 and sell one of the refriffers and up. That's a line, but it's not a great spot. He's looking at it. He's thinking, okay, if I level roll, what are the odds? Sells his buddy. Oh, rough, chat. Damn. That's what it takes to be a top level player. Ruthlessness. I guess it's not a buddy, right? I call him his buddy, right? But it's his minion. It's a Sneed minion, the starter minion, whatever. Because Sneed has an actual buddy and that does something else. So, but it's so hard not to call it the buddy, right? Is your pal, your dude. He was there with you since turn 1, and then you throw him out like garbage. You throw him out for 4 gold. Be like, is this worth 4 gold? Nah, get out of here. All right. lasso and that. Yeah, there weren't really many options there. You could level here and just have double thingies, volumize regeneration, but he doesn't want that. So what would be good enough? Industrious Deckhand, absolutely good enough. It's funny, we have to buy it before lassoing, because otherwise we might get it in a spot where we don't want it. We level in here? I kind of like level in here. I have to sack one of the reefs, I guess. So he wanted to make sure that he had a good card to copy, and he found it relatively early, which meant that he still had a reasonable amount of money to level. And that's also because he did exchange his hero power minion for the 4 gold, right? If he didn't have the 4 extra gold, then he would not have been able to go to tier 5 here. So then you can already ask yourself, well, is it worth to have my Sneed minion and not be on tier 5 a turn early? Especially because it's going to be super snowball effect, because if I'm on tier 5 early, well, first of all, my Nelly ship can now target Shipman, which is a tier 5 pirate, but also the anomaly is going to give me 2 5-drops potentially now, instead of 2 4-drops. So there's a big snowball from that one decision where he sacrificed his minion to get the 4 gold. Like, he's in such a better position now. Okay, money. There's Plankwalker. With his hand, it's kind of interesting, but yeah. He used the lasso there to try and get the 3 golds. What? Are we happy to go? Wow, are we leveling? Yeah, okay, he just wants to go up. Sure. So didn't want Plankwalker. He's just saying, okay, I'll just take the loss here. Well, if he finds Macaw here, he can target the ship. But unfortunately didn't get it. He's just checking if he finds something great. Eyes is okay-ish, but I don't think we want it. Okay, wow. So a bit of an unexpected straight to tier 6. It does make sense when you look at it in hindsight, because he does have 30 health and his 14 armor, so he's at 44. And it's only turn 7, so he can only drop to 34, which means that he's still very comfortable. Having armor above 30 is a very good spot to be. It also means that the Nelly ship can turn into a Tethys. Also means that he could get double Tethys next turn. The surprising thing is that he copied Gambler in order to do it. So he did not get tempted to try and get something juicy on 5, like a double Bran, like a double Shipman. He just said, okay, well, I'm probably just going to go to 6 with this money, so that next turn I have a very high chance of getting an awesome copy. Because then I can get the double Tethys, but I can also get the double Shipman. I could also do like a different comp. I don't have to do Pirate, but it looks like he's leaning towards Pirate at least right now. He still needs to get some key pieces though. So we'll have that tier 5. We'll have that tier 5. Whatchamacallit? Corsair. So we'll have that one. He will go for the copy on the brand. That's cool. We got a lot of money in the shop with so it's a good lasso. Shell collector's nice. Oop, that's always nice. Get a triple. New hero power is pretty good too. I mean, you could do the beast plus the shimmer moth. It's like a little bit of stats, I guess. But then you need stuff. Then you need something to cycle, right? Oh, well, that's a cycle slot now. Nice, nice. Oh, yeah, it does look like he's going pirate. Yeah, every time he gains gold now. I was thinking, do I just end on a rascal here? Because I'm kind of low on gold. Okay. Let's just want to do it. And then he has this panther and this shimmer moth in his hand, which is a little weird. I don't think he's too concerned about it. He just wants to get the additional, what is that? 1 gold and then another 2. It's like 3 gold. I don't know. You could have also rolled twice and, you know, traded that shimmer moth and the panther. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about that rascal play. With only 2 goldens, it's plus 3 gold. It's like overconfidence, right? It's like guaranteed overconfidence money. It's fair. Unfortunately, overconfidence would not have procced here, right? Because my god, The opponent has a big Apexis setup. He's also farming triples with the Rylak next to a golden volumizer, which is kind of fun. When is a new patch? This is almost 4 months. We are definitely not 4 months on the same patch, but yes, it's been 4 months of the same season, but anomalies weren't even in, right? Oh, we have an insane setup here. Double Tethys and a shipment. The Nelly will get sold for sure. I think we just get rid of our thingy, right? Our golden 4-drop. We will want to eat this dealer at some point, but it's a bit too big. This is sort of your classic pirates where you have your mid-game dealer and then you want to get out of it. It's a bit annoying that we weren't able to fit shipment as well, but we have Bran, we have double Tethys, and we had a bit of extra cash to start the turn with. So it should be okay. Now, if we end up tripling this Tethys, we could consider adding another value pirate to the board. But especially if we get a golden Bran, it's not really going to be necessary. Golden Bran plus golden Tethys is hopefully enough for us to not run out of money, which means you could play another scaling pirate. And that's really nice. Yeah, that beast is great to cycle. It spends money for your Tethys. Oof. Oh, let's go. It would have been nice to maybe play both the battle cries and then buy the one in the shop, but there's so much that he needed to do, so that's tough. Also, every time he sells a card and his golden 5-drop isn't on the board, he loses quite a bit of he loses quite a bit of stats, so it seems okay. Whew. Yeah, that pirate is pretty interesting to buy because you're getting a gold as well. So it's a double trigger for your tier 5 pirate. Oh my god, this was wonderful. So perfect. So he did indeed open up board space with the Tethys, which means that he can play a second scaling pirate, which he got after tripling the Corsair. The shop also had a turtle, it had a shell collector, and then he had the 6-drop, which generates 2 5-drops. So it looked like his turn was about to end, and then he just completely came online again with a second wind of cash being infused into his game. So now we can see if he's at all worried about this Tethys. No, he's going to say, I'll just try to get it. Okay, Mutant is wonderful. And I think we just freeze here for those coins. No, okay, we're not going to care. I mean, the coins are pretty decent because it triggers your Tethys, triggers your pirates. He's got the Mutinous for next turn, so he can just sell the glow scale, eat the dealer, and then we can go and pop off. That turn was so beautiful. That is one of the best feelings when you're playing APM, where you're kind of running low and then you just have everything aligned and you're just like, oh my god, I'm back to infinite. Let's go. All right, you're like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to have to end this turn early. And then you just have the shop. You're like, no, I'm not. Let's go. Money, 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 money. All right. Cool. All right, he didn't want to freeze Shell Collector because then he has to buy the double, but looks like it's not a problem. But it does make sense that he wouldn't go out of his way to freeze it. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Didn't take the anomaly into consideration. So he's got good board space now because he was able to eat the dealer. Oh, yeah, okay, our money is doing more than fine. Okay, we can just play that Tethys. I think we buy that one just because we have a lot of cash. So we don't really care. It also means that even if we get unlucky, we should literally never run out of money. Because with double golden Tethys, golden Bran, it's like you can't. It's like you're not running out of money. It's almost impossible. Oh, a little bit of a minion swap there. Just making sure that we stay on our toes. You know, the devs want to make sure we don't just like start slacking. Gotta pay attention, right? It's kind of like that Inspector Clouseau thing where he's always like jumping on his assistant, right? He's like, I was just testing you, right? That's what it feels like when the minions start dancing. It's like, just testing you, making sure you're paying attention. Okay, he's gonna go for a gem buff here. Are we considering doing some kind of gem shop buffing, or we're just like, whatever, it doesn't matter? Okay, so he is going to give up on the Tethys and say, realistically speaking, I shouldn't run out of money. I'll just play another scaling card. He is running out of money a little bit here, though, so I'm like mildly worried. But there's no time left. And he does have that panda. Yeah, there we go. Never mind. An oil, my man. Okay, well, now we sort of don't mind having that Tethys. Quickly buy something here. Yeah, we buffed our gems. There we go. Clean. I think if I were playing that, and that doesn't mean it's better, right? It's just how my brain works in that spot. I would have just held that Corsair in my hand, and I would have said, well, with Golden Tethys, regular Tethys, super likely that I'm going to triple this soon anyway, because I've got infinite money. I'm seeing a lot of shops, and if I just buy enough stuff, at some point the Tethys will just generate it. But looks like Slyders valued the scaling faster more. Now he got a little unlucky that he tripled it so fast, so now it's like, oh well, you know, so my Tethys. But the Tethys only matters if he's running out of money. And I think if he plays intelligently with Golden Brand, Golden Tethys, it's not really going to happen anyway. So if he skips the right minions, buys the right minions, probably a good spot. Okay. Yeah, he's already like fine. This is so much money. Like his hand is already crazy. And he's just going to copy that because he doesn't care anymore. Yeah, at some point you stop caring. So if, oh, okay. If I was going to say if dragons are in, you definitely want to buy that Mutinous because you want to prepare for Stuntrake pivot. But this is not your typical pivot lobby because you do not have the Stuntrake. But he's still buying Freebooter. So we're going to see where he goes with this. I guess technically, yeah. Okay, we're buying that Macaw? Okay. Okay, so you can technically pivot on top of Freebooter instead of Stuntrakes. Now it's a lot worse than Stuntrake, of course, because with Stuntrake you'll get a huge attack Stuntrake, which then puts a lot of attack on the Freebooter, and then you okay, I was gonna say, why did he say, but he had a glow skill on the board so he could fit that. So yeah, huge Stuntrake, huge Freebooter, but now he's just going to skip the Stuntrake because, I mean, dragons aren't in, so obviously he has to skip it. But he gets a big Freebooter and then just uses Macaw on the Freebooter. So we're probably still going to need Pants to untaunt it, otherwise the opponent might kill it with a Leroy before we get a chance to Macaw. So similar to the Stuntrake pivot, but I've never seen it or done it. Oh, that's a great shop. We're going to freeze that Titus. No? Ooh. I thought make it golden next turn was fine, but it's okay. He's got so much to think about. He doesn't have time for this. Because I thought we buy the Reborn from Macaw this turn, and then we just freeze Titus. Next turn, buy the Titus, golden Titus. But, you know, he's got so much to think about. That's super normal that he's just like, okay, let me just go buy it. I absolutely do the same thing when I'm APMing. You're kind of just in the APM flow, and, you know, it's hard to just stop and think, oh wait, I have double header, I could just force golden Titus. And to be fair, with the amount of money he has, he's probably going to get it anyway, because he wants to just make a huge, well, I guess the problem with that, hang on, if you just make a huge Stuntrake, sorry, if you just make a huge Freebooter, you don't have any minions on your board that have damage. So it doesn't quite work the same way as you can do with Stuntrake, because with Stuntrake, the Stuntrake will make high... Okay. Slyders always one step ahead of me. So with Stuntrake, you make the high damage, but he's actually going to buff underdogs, it seems. And that is very cool. So he now has board space to play his Freebooter already and get some buffs on it naturally. He does have Mutinous, and he probably wants to roll more Mutinous so that he can eat as many of the stats as possible. But because he tripled his Marauder, he now has the board space to just run the Freebooter and get some buffs naturally already on it, which is nice. But it seems like the plan he's going for is to sell all the minions that he can't eat, then eat his biggest minions to make a huge Freebooter, then play Macaw with Titus, and then obviously try to, you know, Wind Fury, Golden, Reborn your Macaw, and then your Freebooter just has a lot of damage, which moves a lot of health. Nice, we found a Mutinous. to Underdog. And then Underdog doesn't need to have damage because it'll generate damage when it attacks, so it just needs to have a lot of health. Right. Okay, great shop here too. Not only does that give us what we need, it also gives us hand space, which is wonderful. Okay, we did find a reborn. Do we buy that? No, it doesn't have enough hand space, it seems. Just a little too tricky. Pitching for more mutinous with that. That is wonderful, yeah. Pants is probably something he wanted, but it's a tough one. Is he pivoting? He's not pivoting this turn, right? That would give me a heart attack, okay. He can't play anything. You can't. Okay, he's just gonna get rid of his macaw because he's not... Yeah, this is where we see that Slyders, he is, you know, just human after all, like barely, right, when it comes to the game. But like here he was like, oh, the opponent was strong, this was the guy with the Apexis early, maybe I should pivot, like, oh well, I need to end on a good guy, oh I need a gold, let's just sell this macaw, I'll end on Sindore. And it's obviously it's a good move because the opponent is very, very strong. So I think if he had slightly more time, he probably would have pivoted here already. But he noticed that the opponent was the Cindy, right? Which was very strong last time he fought it. So that is super good awareness, which led him to actually fit that Sindore in. You know, if I was piloting that, I would very easily just die to this opponent, be like, all right, I needed that, but I'm like too busy setting up the pivot and stuff like that. So now that it's top 4, you know, even though damage cap was already off for Slyders, he did not have 15 or more. We are likely going to see him going to make the pivot now before he fights this person in the... Oof, Terron is insane. Before he fights this person in the top 4. Eyes for Macaw or another Underdog. But probably Macaw. We get a Macaw in the shop. Okay, so with triple mutinous, we don't really need to look for more mutinous. We can, right? We wouldn't skip one, I think. But now it's more about Slyders using his time effectively and getting his pivots down. So it's not so much about, let me just make sure that I roll more mutinous or that I get as many stats as possible. It's more about him. Yeah, it's 40 seconds in the turn. He's already selling. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, I guess no pants is also a bit scary, but he does have the Terran hero power at the very least. All right, there we go. We got our Terran hero power. We got our double Underdog. I guess we're gonna golden Macaw. Yeah, honestly, well done that he just recognized that he does not need to push it to the absolute limit here. He can just play and make sure that his board makes sense here. Nice little oil. Love to see that. Yeah, it's kind of weird with no pants, but then again, what do you taunt? You would have to just run a thing to taunt. Well, how would you play this? I guess you would have one Divine Shield taunt, and you would pants the freebooter, I think. There's a lot of hot takes in chat, and I will reply to it after this game, because I kind of want to just like see what's going on here. Man, so this is then a new pivot that we can do, where as soon as pirates are in, we don't necessarily need dragons anymore. You probably want beasts, but even that is not like 100% necessary. If you have something like a Terran hero power, it's probably already fine. Because look at the health he's generating here. 17,000 health on that Underdog. And you have basically unlimited damage, right? Especially on golden Underdog. Leave it up to Slyders to come up with the cool pivots. I think XQN was the first one to show us the freebooter stun drake. But this is the first time I see the regular just freebooter pivot. Trickster Macaw? Yes, Trickster Macaw. Trickster Macaw for sure. But with Underdog, it becomes so much better. And I guess if Murlocs are in, you could even run Bow Spitters and they could just venom each other the whole time. Now, of course, if Murlocs are in, this is probably weaker because then the opponent can also run Venom, right? Okay, man. Cool to see this. So, yeah, I don't know what... I guess what the ideal version would be is like 1 Taunt Divine Shields or like a Broodmother. But then again, if dragons are in, you would play Stun Drake instead, right? So a Taunt Divine Shield and then some... Yo, I guess Thrasher is fine, right? What is he going to taunt here? Because he has the pants now. Oh, Taunt Reborn. Yeah, Taunt Reborn is basically Taunt Divine Shield. Could honestly freeze that Macaw for next turn, because, like, you know, then it's golden, and you know, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Interesting board, yes. It's yet another thing that we can do in the end game now. Especially with the Terran hero power, it's so nutty. But yeah, the Taunt Reborn is great because he just needs something that protects all his tech. Because he has his Macaw that he doesn't want to die. He has his Titus, he has his Freebooter, he has his Underdog, so just protecting that seems great. He gave the Macaw Wind Fury because it is going to give itself health. Well, the Freebooter is going to give its health. Which means that it will very, very likely Wind Fury. So Reborn would have been bad. Oh my god. It's a bit weak to Leroy and Poison. Well, I mean, in the right lobby, like, he wouldn't have won it playing Pirates, I think. Right? That's 5,000 health on the opponent. You can sort of get there with Pirates to have all your board 5,000, 5,000, but that's a specific kind of game. This seems much, much stronger. Never thought of that? Yeah. It's a very cool pivot. It's one of those things where you just have to see it. It's the same as with Stun Drake Freebooter. Stun Drake Freebooter makes so much sense. Of course you play Freebooter in a Stun Drake comp. But people weren't doing it until we saw, you know, XQN do it. And it's not like the fight even takes forever because the Underdog will just kill stuff. Normally, if you have something like Macaw Trickster, it's just a wet noodle fight and nothing dies forever. All right. New endgame pivots. Okay, cool.